In April this year, I sold my Toyota Chaser JZX 100. And a large reason why was because I wanted to create some different content for you guys, but the major part, which I haven't told you yet, is because I invested a very, very large portion of those funds into my new automotive streetwear project, which is a dream that I've had for years and years and years, and is now finally coming to fruition. And if you're new here, welcome. My name's Pat. I ordinarily make content on rare cars and their stories and take you through my automotive journey. But today I'm talking about something incredibly special and something that I've been working on day in, day out for the past 6 months. And that is my new automotive streetwear project, Stay Driven. You see, the thing is with this, I'm not sure if it's all gonna work out. At the time of posting this video on Thursday, we're less than 1 week from launch on August 5. And I knew that I had to just give it my best shot. And over the past 6 months, I've been working day in, day out to make this happen. And I knew that I owed it to myself to try. So welcome if you're new, and hello if you're returning. This is the origin story of my new automotive streetwear project, Stay Driven. Let's get stuck in. Where I am now and where it could be in a year's time, I have absolutely no idea. And that's the most exciting part of pursuing your goals. And if there's anything that 2PJZ taught me, is that you have absolutely no idea where you're gonna end up if you actually give it a crack. I had no clue when I posted my first video in May of 2024 that I would be here now, about to launch my own clothing brand with nearly 150,000 combined followers on platforms. I never, ever would have imagined that. So that's what I wanted to bottle up. This feeling of staying driven has helped get me through some pretty tough times, because still, even building out, doing daily content, working a 9-to-5 job, keeping on top of daily life, it is pretty hard. It is really, really hard. It's not easy. It's not for the faint of heart. And whatever I think about two things. The first is this is when it counts, which is a saying that I love, because this is when it counts. This is when the hard work counts. And that pairs beautifully with the whole motto of staying driven and pursuing your goals. It doesn't matter what it is, but stay driven. That is the ultimate. Why did I create Stay Driven? Stay Driven originated from my love for cars. I owe the car scene and the car community and car culture an awful lot in my life, and most of my friends, the people that I relate to, the people that I speak to every single day on my Instagram and TikTok and even YouTube channels for 2PJZ, that's the reason why I love cars. It's the whole sense of community, bringing people together from all walks of life, all income classes, backgrounds, nationalities, races, all together for this same passion. And that's something that I don't think you get anywhere else. Maybe sport, potentially, and I wanted to sort of bottle that feeling and that essence up and represent that in a new automotive streetwear brand. Because most brands I see, particularly in the car niche, build these sorts of hype type, flex type brands. It just doesn't speak to me. There's not a whole lot of automotive clothing out there that I actually really feel proud to wear. I wanted to create something that doesn't just have to exist in the confines of cars and coffee. I wanted to be able to build something that represents me, the passion that I have for vintage cars and even modern cars from the 80s through to now, motorsport, car culture, and represent that through a line of subtle and sophisticated clothing. And thus, Stay Driven was born. This brand is for those who like to get up in the morning and go for a drive. Those who are in the garage late at night, pursuing your goals, whether it's automotive related, business, life, relationship. And it's for those chasing goals that many people don't understand. This brand is about identity, focus, clarity, belonging. And that belonging portion is a big part of it, because as I said before, belonging in the car scene is somewhere that's very unique. You have little pockets of the car scene, whether you're into European cars, Japanese cars, and then you've got the subgroups of the European or the Japanese cars. You've got your Aussie cars, your American cars, and I could go on and speak for 10 minutes about this, but I think you get what I'm saying, that you will find a place for yourself in the car scene. That's just the sort of environment that it is, and that's why I love it. And this brand is for everybody. It's for everyone who believes in the mentality of doing something better than average and going after what you really, really want in life. Because I think for me, cars have always been a sort of medicine in a way. They've been the therapy. Going for a drive, whether it's by myself or with some mates, has always helped clear my head, helped reset me, bring me back down to earth. It's often the only time of the day that I'm free from cameras or phones or laptops or other forms of technology. And I guess to capture all of that feeling and bottle all that feeling up, I wanted to create something that people could wear that represents that. And I really wanted to give everyone who supports Stay Driven a true reminder of why they started chasing whatever goal you might be chasing in the first place. Now that we got the why out of the way, let's talk about how we actually got here. I first had this idea probably 6 months into creating content. So I started creating content again in May 2024, and say towards the end of the year, I wanted to try and create something that, yes, acts as a business model, because here's a bit of truth for you. In Australia, we don't really get paid much for this content game. I don't get paid anything on Instagram or Facebook. YouTube is very, very minimal because the channel is tiny, and thank you for watching this if you're here. And so I needed a business model because my goal is to take this full time as soon as possible. And the truth is, I wanted to build something that actually has resonance with people. Too many content creators, influencers, whatever you want to call them, are creating products that are shitty. They have no intrinsic value. They're just another buy my course type bro. But I wanted to try and create something that, yes, supports me and helps me build a business, build this, do it full time, but also create a bit of a movement. And I wanted to create a movement defined around the mindset of staying driven and pursuing your goals, because I think that paired with automotive passion is a very, very powerful thing. And I wanted to harness that in a brand. I didn't want to rush this process because I knew what I wanted to build, and it's the same with my content, I see as really long lasting. I don't see myself as being in this game for a couple of years and then burning out and vanishing into the darkness. Like what I'm doing here, I see myself as 5 to 10 years. I don't really look at this through the lens of 10 to 12 months. So from about February to May was the major design process. I linked up with my mate Gav from By Shade, and he helped me sort of bring my vision to life. I'm a very average designer, so I did a few sketches, a few little drawings, created some mood boards on Canva and Pinterest, and if any of you have started a clothing brand, you might know what I'm talking about, and tried to encapsulate and take some vision from brands that I really admire who are doing this right all over the world, and even brands not involved in the car scene, and take bits and bobs from all the different brands that I really adore and put them all together to create the sort of branding overview of Stay Driven. I wrote up a brand Bible which has everything, all the key messages, the sort of tone I want to use on my posts, the way that the brand wants to be communicated, the way that I feel everything should be perceived by the brand, and how ultimately it translates to you. And then it was through that February to May period that I started to sort of get obsessed with the idea of creating a collection defined around a theme. I had so many ideas for different collections, but I wanted this first one to be revolved around a Porsche 964. If you follow me on my short form channels, you would know that Porsches are a big passion of mine. It's the reason why I gained such a large following so quickly was by making videos purely pretty much about Porsches. And as much as I love my Japanese cars, which maybe we can do in the future collection, Porsches were really where the brand started for me, and it's where my sort of initial trajectory went, so I thought I wanted to represent that in the first drop. And then we went to the more intricate details, saying, well, what Porsche do we want? And for me, it had to be a forest green 964. I love dark green. I wear a lot of dark green, which is why we've got a dark green tee in the collection. That car shaped the whole vibe. It's why we've got the black hoodie, which is a universal type fit. Then we've got the 964 t-shirt, which you can see behind me here. Putting all those colors together in the capsule to create a really uniform color palette was something that I wanted to make sure came across really well, because the attention to detail on this first drop, I think, is second to none. I'm really, really happy with it. We went through revision after revision after revision. We had so many different color options, so many different designs. We were looking at some other Porsches, some BMWs, some Nissans, because I love my GTRs, but we did land on the Porsche because I just felt like it spoke to me the most out of all the different options. And that process took about 3 months to actually go from the initial ideation and mood board to then the final designs, which was getting pretty exciting. And then from about May to June, it was actually trying to pick what materials we wanted. So again, I leaned on Gav a lot for this, and we ended up going with 2 t-shirts and a hoodie. So the black hoodie, this one is the latest AS color hoodie. Not many people really have this yet. The 2 t-shirts are made in Gav's studio in LA. They've got custom tags on the back of each product. It's all custom care labels. The hoodies are beautiful. They're about 350 GSM thick. The t-shirts are about 245 GSM thick. I really wanted something that was boxy, oversized. It still had a really nice modern and structured silhouette, and I'm really happy with how it all came out. I've literally been wearing this hoodie every single day since I got it. And the 2 things I didn't want to do with my own brand, I didn't want to go print on demand. I didn't want to use some shitty Chinese prints. I didn't want to take any shortcuts at all, which is why, even though we started this process in February, it's July now and we're only just getting ready to launch, and we only have 3 items in the first collection. Ordinarily that wouldn't take this long, but it's because I wanted to actually make sure that the process was as drawn out as it needed to be able to plan everything as much as in advance, because this is my first time doing it. I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. So then, as I said at the start of the video, I sold my chaser to fund this. So I paid well over $10,000 for this first drop, and spending that much money when I hadn't even seen a sample, I hadn't even seen any of the blanks yet. All I've seen is a few mock-ups that are on the screen now. That was absolutely terrifying. And honestly, it still terrifies me because all the stock now is sitting in my living room because we launch next week. And I still feel terrified that it might not work because it's always a potential. Like, as I make this video, I'm just over a week out and I've got no clue if it's all gonna work out. But in life, you have to take the risk and hopefully it pays off. Now, what makes Stay Driven different is that it is run by an enthusiast for enthusiasts. It's built by, with, and for the car community. Both Gav and I are true blue car fans. We live and breathe this sort of stuff. And I think that really carries through in this brand. And it really blends the mindset of staying driven and chasing your goals with everything that we love about the car community. Every piece tells a story, whether it's the green icon t-shirt that you literally wear the Stay Driven motto on your chest, same as the hoodie, or it's the dark green 964, which has this really nice half-tone effect on it. The overall collection of C1 is, as I said, inspired by one of my dream cars, the Porsche 964. It's my ultimate dream weekender. It's something that I've been lusting after for years, and to actually be able to shoot with and drive Andy's 964 as part of our initial campaign launch was an awesome feeling. It was just, it was so cool. I'd never driven an older air-cooled Porsche before, and that was truly a wild experience being able to do that. And just seeing the vision come to life exactly how I wanted it to be was something that, you know, if I told myself 6 months ago that was going to happen, I wouldn't have believed it. This is made to be worn anywhere. It's not just made to be worn at Cars and Coffee, and then if you step outside of Cars and Coffee, you've got some big gaudy car print on your back and you look like a 15-year-old boy. This is made to be worn in garages, at the servo stops, when you're going on your hills runs in the morning. And as I said, outside of car events, at dinner, if you're just chilling at home, if you're out with some mates who might not be into cars, it's not going to look out of place anywhere. That was a very intentional design choice with the first collection. And ultimately, Stay Driven is built for the lifestyle and built for the passion of loving cars. It's not built for flex. I'm not building this so I can sell 500,000 units in the first drop. I purposely kept it very exclusive because I personally don't like wearing things that I feel like everyone else has, and I hope you guys are the same. I'm not really keen on wearing something and then seeing 20 other people have it. Like, I want everyone who buys something from Stay Driven to truly feel like it's a unique piece, and particularly if this does spread globally, I want this to be in all corners of the world. I don't think this is just confined to Australia. I want this to become a global brand, and if you're watching this, then I hope you're here early for the start of it all. Now, over time, I want this to become a global brand. I want this to be something that is bigger than Ben-Hur, but that's not going to happen overnight, obviously. I'm intentionally wanting to start to build this piece by piece so it becomes something special where we can have community-focused meets. I want to have regular Stay Driven meets. I want to do events all over the world, events locally here in Australia, and I want to try and bring some of the themes and vibes and cultural impact that we see with some of the European automotive streetwear brands over to Australia. That's really my end goal for this. I'd love to have a permanent workshop space where Stay Driven sort of operates out from, and we can have a little cafe maybe, or a spot for car meets, and I could speak all day about my dreams for this brand, but it has to start with executing this first drop properly. And then going forward, I'd love to have collection 2 potentially being either a motorsport or Japanese car focus, because I know a lot of you probably would love to see some Japanese cars in the Stay Driven lineup, and trust me, that will be coming with time. We just have to be patient. Or maybe collection 2 will feature the next car that I'm buying, which again, it's either a Lexus ISF or a BMW E46 M3, and that is very contingent on this first drop going well. If this first drop totally flops, and I don't think I'm going to be buying an M3 or an ISF. So ultimately, Stay Driven isn't just a brand. Stay Driven and the mindset behind staying driven is how I've kept going when all I wanted to do was stop. And I wanted to represent that and bring that to life in something that we can all share in and build a community around the mindset of staying driven through our shared passion for cars and culture. And if this means something to you, even just a little bit, I'd really appreciate if you head over to the staydriven.com.au website and chuck your name down for early access and be among the very select few who will get to wear some of the first drop. I am so excited to hopefully see this on you. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. Thank you so much for watching this very candid, real and raw video from me. If you've made it this far, I really appreciate not only your attention, but your attention span to make it this far. And thank you. This is a really special moment for me, but I also think it's a very special moment for us. Where 2PJZ and Stay Driven are going, I think, is still very early, and if you're here now, you're really early. So thank you for your time. My name's Pat, stay driven, and we'll see you in the next one.